Alright, what is up everyone? Got another Ultra League video here featuring Steel Wing Skarmory in the Ultra League. So this is a hundo best buddy Skarmory, and Steel Wing got a big buff with this season, being able to generate more energy. We've seen it in the Great League already, and I wanted to try it in the Ultra League. I already loved Skarmory in the Ultra League before the buff, just using the typical moveset of Air Slash, Sky Attack, Brave Bird, but now with Steel Wing I wanted to give it a try. So we got the team on the left that I'm using, Giratina, Skuntank, Skarmory, and then the teams I faced on the right. And in this group of battles, we had 4 wins, 1 loss, and so we'll take a look at each of those, and I'll comment on that. A couple things about the move sets. Giratina's move set, pretty much all of them would work, I think. Shadow Claw gives you better matchups versus these steel types. So that's where I like Shadow Claw better. Skuntank and Skarmory aren't going to do great versus steel types, obviously. You do have Flamethrower for Skuntank, but I like Shadow Claw, Tina, and I like Ancient Power for in case you see a flyer, a Talonflame comes in. Ancient Power just does so much damage. And so Skarmory, this is the preferred move set now. Steel Wing, Sky Attack, Brave Bird. I think you got to go with this. Maybe there's an argument to be made for Flash Cannon, but I really liked this move set. Overall, this team did really well. I tried it for a couple of sets, and I think got back-to-back 4-1s with it. So, strong team, fun to use, fun to try out Skarmory with this Steel Wing buff. So, anyway, in the current battle here, we're able to get the Dragon Claw to knock out the Poliwrath here, and then we're still going to get another Dragon Claw to knock out Tentacruel before they could get to 2 moves to break through my shield and knock me out. So our first battle's a win. We'll take a look at the next battle here. This time it's a Tapu Lead. So Tapu's a fairy type, but against Shadow Claw Tina, Giratina actually does really well, but they swap to a Registeel. So I kind of just have to stay in here, and then I can try to align my Skuntank to the Tapu later. So the reason I'm going for Ancient Powers here is because I'm fishing for a boost, right? Without Shadow, this is where Shadow Sneak would help instead of Ancient Power. Good argument to be made for that. But I am able to get the boost. So we're resisting the lock-ons, resisting the Zap Cannons. So they're only able to do resisted damage here. And with a boost, you can flip things around a little bit better in your favor. They are debuffing you with the Zap Cannons most of the time. But I'm just going to stay in here. I'm not going to shield anything yet. Keep throwing some moves and see if I'm going to see if they start shielding. So I go for another Dragon Claw here. I can go for back-to-back Dragon Claws. Or I can just keep farming. Yeah, go for another Dragon Claw here. I think they live this. Let's see if they don't shield. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this go, and I'm going to bring in my Skarmory actually and start farming down. I know I can farm the thing down before they get to another move, and then I can Brave Bird and dip, which just kind of hoping that Skuntank is a core breaker for whatever they have in the back. So I do get a shield, and Skuntank is a core breaker. We're able to do really well against these remaining 2 Pokemon with super effective poison jabs on the Tapu and super effective crunches on the Cress. So I'm going to shield 1 Moonblast, go for a second crunch here, and then I don't need to shield the next Moonblast. I can take that and just overfarm a little bit to prepare for Tapu coming back in. So I'm going to overfarm just a little, throw the crunch, this will knock him out, and then I can just use my shield to get in a lot of poison jab damage, or I can let this go and go for the Brave Bird. So yeah, I decided to let it go, save my shield for Skarm, and a Brave Bird would knock out. The Steel Wings are doing neutral because Fairy Water typing. So GG, next battle, Staraptor, Shadow Staraptor in the lead. This is the only battle we lost here actually, and it was to a Shadow Staraptor, so props to my opponent for bringing the spice. This would be, I was talking about movesets earlier, this would be awesome if I had Trailblaze Skuntank here. I like Flamethrower for the steel coverage, and you really need Crunch to beat the ghost types. So it's kind of tough. If you want to ditch Flamethrower for Trailblaze, you can, one-shot a Swampert with that. Now, if they would have baited with a Hydro, yeah, I could have flipped it around, right? Your Skuntank can actually do okay. With double Crunch, you can knock a Swampert out. But anyway, I'm able to land an Ancient Power, get some damage off, and then bring in my Skarmory here to farm the Staraptor down. And just hoping that I have play against whatever is in the back. And it's a Dragonite. So we do have play here. If I can get to double Sky attacks, we should be able to knock the thing out. We're resisting the Dragon Breath. I'm going to shield this up, and the only thing I'm afraid of is if they try to catch. And they did. And I didn't want to get knocked out by the Dragon Breath, so I knew I had to throw a move. But unfortunately, they did pull off a successful catch, and then they get to their Dragon Claw before I get to mine. So, GG, they played that really well with a spicy team. Yeah, not mad about losing to Spice, so great win for my opponent. Now it's a Tentacruel in the lead. Tentacruel is staying in, which, you know, tips me off to go, okay, they're probably running Blizzard. So I'm going to stay in. I'm resisting the poison jabs and doing, you know, neutral stab, shadow claws, and dragon claws. So they bait with a Scald, and they're continuing to stay in. So I'm guessing, okay, this next one's got to be the Blizzard. It'd be kind of crazy if they go for a double bait here. So I'm committing 2 shields to my Tina, and they do go for the Blizzard that time. And now I can overfarm. It's going to be, you know, a good amount of time before they could get to another Blizzard. So I'm just overfarming quite a bit so that I can have energy banked on Tina for whatever comes in next. So I believe they bring in the Mandibuzz next. Yep, there's the Mandibuzz. We swap to our Skunk, and they're staying in. And they're probably staying in to see my moveset, right? Do I have Sludge Bomb? Do I have Trailblaze? Do I have Flamethrower? And this is why, you know, if I was running Trailblaze, then they can stay in with Mandibuzz because my charge moves are both resisted by them, and they don't want to get hit with the Trailblaze on their Poly. So smart of them to play it that way, and waiting to see my moveset. But I can bring in Tina here and start throwing Dragon Claws, and then I have Skarmory for the Mandibuzz, right? So I can live in Icy Wind. Icy Wind Scald is the moveset. Poliwrath got big buffs this season, but we're not going to get KO'd by a single Icy Wind, and we're resisting the counters. So they are up a shield, but I believe we're going to be able to win this. I can go to, I believe I'll be able to get to a Sky Attack and a Brave Bird, hopefully getting a shield on the Sky Attack, and then can land the Brave Bird, or maybe even just a single Sky Attack would be okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the Sky Attack here if I survive this Dark Pulse. And then we have some energy on Tina where I can swap in and Dragon Claw the Poliwrath. Okay, we Shadow Claw the thing down and I Dragon Claw the Mandibuzz right before the timer goes up. So got in our full time there in the battle. Okay, final battle of the video. We got a Shadow A9 lead, so terrible lead. We do have the Ancient Power for super effective damage, but I'm going to switch to my Skuntank, the safe swap on the team, and do some super effective poison jabs, start building up some energy, and they bring in a Talonflame here. So I can land 1 crunch, and then I think I'm just going to let the Skuntank go and bring in my Giratina and farm the thing all the way down so that I have a bunch of energy going into the A9 matchup, right? I've already seen they're running Fly. It's likely not Fly Brave Bird, so I guess it's possible, but I can get to double Ancient Power here, throw them both, hopefully get a shield, and then swap to my Skarm for double super effective Steel Wings on this thing. So I was able to get 2 Steel Wings off, the first one and then the Sneak, and I take a Weather Ball, and then they bring in their final Pokemon, and they are also running Steel Wing Skarmory. Now, I have a higher CP than theirs, so either theirs is not the Hundo or not Best Buddy. Maybe it is the Hundo and just not Best Buddy. I don't see a Best Buddy ribbon on there. But I'm in good shape here because I've got a shield advantage against them. Got my 2 shields, and I'm able to make it to a Sky Attack. So a Brave Bird and a Sky Attack with the Steel Wing damage would be able to knock out, so I can shield 1 here. And I'm in a pretty good spot here now. I can farm down the A9 before it gets to a move, and then throw an Ancient Power to knock out the Skarm, and that's GG. So great battles. Again, really enjoyed using this team. It's very fun to use Skarmory in Ultra League, and the buff to Steel Wing gives you just quick access to your charge attacks, and with Brave Bird being able to hit hard, Steel Wing being able to do super effective damage to something like, a Shadow A9, double super effective there. You're resisting the dragon type moves that are so common, dragons in the Ultra League. So Steel Wing Skarm is an interesting pick, spicy pick, but very strong. And so give the team a shot, check it out, try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments. Y'all be blessed.